Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season 2, episode 4. The episode today is titled Humans and Nature Relationship. It's intriguing, and we're going to learn a lot more about the session as it unfolds. So let me quickly introduce the two speakers for today. Devi, of course, is known to all of us. He's been a past participant during season 1. I'd just like to say that I learned a new word when I introduced him the last time around. He's a lepidopterist, and that, I believe, means he's a student of butterflies and moths. Okay. He also works for the Indian Railways. So let me go on and introduce Tanvi. Tanvi, welcome to FDG. You are arguably the youngest speaker we've had as part of Gen 4. And it's a pleasure to have you here today. So Tanvi Saxena lives in Singapore and is a grade 10 high school student with an avid interest in photography. She's studying it as a subject in high school and plans to pursue higher studies in the subject. Her focus is portraiture. Tanvi is currently the head of the photography department for a school magazine, as well as the head of photography for a high school arts platform. She loves to shoot individuals, city moments, and really anything that captures her interest and imagination with her Nikon camera. She's also a keen drummer and enjoys kickboxing. Welcome, Tanvi. So with that introduction, I'd like to hand over to Devi to take charge of today's session. And so over to you, Devi.
I think Tanvi should start first.
All right. So Tanvi, over to you.
Thank you. Okay, let me just share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Can everyone see? Am I all good?
Yeah.
Okay. So hi everyone. So I'm going to be talking about portraiture photography, which is something I've been interested in for a really, really long time, and I would love to share some things about it with everyone. So I would like to start off this evening with a quote. So photography is the story I failed to put into words. This is said by Destin Sparks. He's quite a famous landscape photographer, and he's been an inspiration to me for quite a long time. So let's start with an introduction to myself. So I attend UWC Dover. It's an international school in Singapore. And I'm a photographer for my school yearbook and a high school art program. And I love exploring different styles of photography, including abstract, landscape, and even event photography. I hope you enjoyed this evening's presentation. So let's start. So this is what I'm going to be speaking about today. So I'll be introducing portraiture and what exactly it is. And I'm going to be showing some of my personal images that I've taken. And I'll also be showing some of my works for school, as I take photography as a subject as well. So we had to create final pieces, so I would like to display that as well. Okay, so let's start with an introduction. What exactly is portrait photography? So it's a type of photography aimed at capturing the personality of a person. So it can capture their identity, and the viewer usually gets sympathy or empathy from the image, and they can also connect themselves with the person. It can spark feelings such as joy, especially with laughter in the image, as well as seriousness and solemnness when the subject is making direct eye contact with the camera. And it can also create a sense of intrigue and mystery when the subject is not looking at the camera. It makes the viewer wonder, what are they thinking about? Maybe they can connect with them, and wondering if they're going through any struggles that they can also resonate with. So usually portrait photographers use lighting, backdrops, and poses in order to convey the messages that they want to. So they use this in stylistic ways, including black and white and color, in order to convey the message that they want to convey. So I'm going to be showing some of my freelance images and also analyzing them as I go along. So these are images that I take in my free time as a hobby. When I'm going out with friends, I take photos of them. So these are some of those. So in analyzing these, I take photography as a subject. So my teacher, when analyzing our work, my teacher is always talking about the elements and principles of art in order to analyze our work. So these elements are basically drilled into my brain every time I have to look at a piece of work. So that's how I'm going to be showing this. So this is one of my works. It is of my friend in the botanical gardens in Singapore. So one prominent feature of this image is movement. So movement is basically when the path that the viewer takes through the work in order to find the focal area. So what the focal area is basically what the artist wants the viewer to focus on. And what they want the viewer to notice. So this is shown through leading lines and triangle composition. Leading lines are basically the lines, as you can see in the arms, where the photographer is trying to show what the viewer wants to focus on, as well as the triangle composition you can see in the line right over there. I also switched the photo to black and white instead of color in order to create a contrast. So contrast usually is a striking difference between two elements. It is used to set a mood, and it also grabs the viewer's attention. Moving on to display number 2. So this is of my other friend. We were also like hanging out and taking photos in Raffles Center in Singapore. So this is quite different from the photo I showed everyone before. So these are two different photos used with layering. So layering is a technique usually used in an app called Photoshop to create a blurry effect. So as you can see, it's not just one singular photo. It's like two different photos combined and added. And usually photographers like to change the colors of this. So as you can see in the first photo, one's in blue and one's in normal color. The multicolor also creates a contrast, as I mentioned before. It also creates a multi-dimensional effect, which can also be eye-catching to the viewer and makes them wonder why the photographer chose this technique in order to put in their work. I also used eye contact, so I also told my friend, make eye contact with the camera. This is really, really significant in portraiture because it kind of creates a connection between the viewer and the image, and also creates intrigue about what the subject is thinking. Okay, so here are some pieces created in school. We had a recent identity project, so we had to create final pieces for that. So we went through a process in order to think about what exactly is identity and how do people show that and what different personalities and what exact aspects make up a person's identity. So here is one of my final pieces. So it's actually a combination of 3 different works, as you can see, put together. So the first image is, I used a technique called layer mask. So as you can see, there are 2 different images, and one image is used like as the dress of the model. So I think this creates a really, really interesting effect and makes the viewer kind of wonder, why is her face used as a dress? Why is her face used as a piece of her identity? And in the second photo, it is actually the main image and the opacity is reduced and it's cut with 2 different layers kind of opposing each other. And I think they're symmetrical with one another and also creates a sense of balance and harmony with the image. And it's also in the middle, which also creates a sense of symmetry in the photo. So with the last image at the end, so it appears as though it is one photo, but it's actually 2 different photos. So the model is holding herself, and in Singapore, we have to wear masks. So she's actually wearing a mask in the image, but it's actually cut out as her face instead of the mask. So honestly, I don't know how I came up with this. I just thought it looked kind of interesting. But I guess it looks, it creates a sense of like why it's like piecing herself together as a person. So that's one of my first pieces. And this is another piece. So it's also done in Photoshop, and in each of the images, you're able to see the profile of the person, but you cannot see their eyes. So each pair of eyes are kind of switched around with another pair of eyes. The contrast with the black and white also creates a sense of balance. It also makes an eye-catching effect for the viewer. The three images are both edited differently, which also makes the viewer question the clashing personalities of the subject. And as this is an identity piece, it also creates a sense of the viewer wondering, oh, why are these three images put together? Why are they in different editing styles? Why is one in color? Why is one in pink? Why is one in black and white? So all those choices are kind of taken into account as a photographer makes a final piece. And it also directs the attention to the viewer's eyes, adding emphasis on the connection between the photograph and the subject. Yeah. So thank you for listening. I hope you learned something new today in this presentation. And I was wondering if there are any questions.
Thank you, Tanvi, for that. We may take questions towards the end. That's what we usually do. We'll now hand over to Devi.
Hang on, I have a question, Cham.
All right, go ahead.
So I want Tanvi to go back to a first image, which she shot in the Singapore garden with, that was a friend, right, Tanvi?
Yeah. Yep.
Can you go back to it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just a very pedestrian question, but you can tell us. I mean, so how many sittings or shots did you take to get that movement?
It was quite a process. I was actually looking at Pinterest. It's this kind of platform where you can look at images. So I was looking at those kind of styles for inspiration because a lot of those images look really, really cool. So I was like, oh, I want to try that. And it took a while because to get that kind of effect of like the blurry hand movement. So
and the reason I ask is because it really is a very nice picture. And if you look at it, there is so much of movement in it. So getting a movement in a still is quite a skill. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
Cham, thanks.
Okay, so Devi, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. So I would be just, taking you to a tour with photographs. Tanvi, it was an excellent presentation. And your generation is so lucky that you can experiment so much, because in our days, we used to click a photograph and we didn't know what we have clicked unless and until we developed it after 5 days, 10 days to 15 days. But here you can see that what you have done and you can improve there. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Taking from where Tanvi has left us, that photography is signature by light. This is your signature by light, nothing else. Everyone sees a picture, but how you perceive it, how you take it, and how you present it to the world is different. So coming back to humans and nature, well, I would be talking about pictures, about natures, about humans, and maybe, in my flow, I may use some hard-hitting words, so please don't mind. And I consider that family and formality are antonyms, so you would pardon me for that. And this is a picture of Himalayas, which are the mountains which have, formed with the the tectonic plates playing their game. And what you see here is Nanda Devi and Panchjuli. This is from Uttarakhand, a place called Manila. We know Manila is the capital of Philippines, but there is a Manila in Uttarakhand as well, and one of the most beautiful places. So just to give you a sense that I would be talking about nature and humans. So these are very hard hitting, facts. We are 7.5 billion humans as counted by various government. I consider that we are more than that. And there are 7 million species on Earth so far discovered by humans. Our scriptures say that there are 8.4 million species. And it is said that we as humans are top of the creation. And 84 lakh juniयों के बाद आपको, you are being born as human. And the total forest area of the world is 31%. In India, it is only 21%. Earth came into being some 4.5 billion years ago. We have a lifespan of only 100 years. So we will never be able to unravel the mystery of nature. Never, ever, whatever we may do. Because the lifespan of Earth and the lifespan of our galaxy, which is around 14 billion years more, when it will collide, as per our estimation, with another galaxy. And humans are only 2 lakh years old. And to everyone's horror, we kill and slaughter around 77 billion animals per year. And we, as humans, cut around 15 billion trees every year. That's the mammoth figure. And it is so staggering a figure, so loud a figure, that sometimes it prompts you to think about it, that what are we doing? We came into being after everybody was there. And it is like, that someone comes in your house as a guest, and within 3-4 days, he kicks you out of your house or your own house and start enjoying what you were having and treats you like, muck. That is what we are doing it to nature. And that's what we have to introspect, each one of us. No government alone can do anything. We have to see what we are doing to nature. And these figures, we are only 7.5 billion, and we keep on killing, we keep on cutting trees. Sometimes with a purpose, sometimes without any purpose, sometimes without even understanding what we are doing. And see, the way we have grown. In the year 1804, we were 1 billion. And in 1927, we became 2 billion. And in 1960, we became 3 billion. 4 billion in 74. And we would be around 8 billion in 2024. And 9 billion. So what we were, multiplying, getting doubled in 123 years, which is happening within 15 to 18 years. We need a planet, one more planet. And the way our greed and our selfishness is going, we are moving towards a catastrophe, unless and until we do something about it. And each one of us will have to do something about it. So these are the figures in front of us, that this is what is happening. And the maximum damage which is being caused by any living entity on this earth is by humans. We are making things difficult for others. We are making things difficult for us. We are digging our grave very fast. And on top of that, we are very, very happy. Very happy. The oxygen is depleting, carbon dioxide is being pumped into the atmosphere, and you would be surprised to know, means any guess how much we are pumping in the atmosphere. It is 40 billion tons a year. 40 billion tons. This is what we are doing every year. So the solution has to be found out by us, sooner the better. These are some of the figures which I just wanted to project and just wanted to show it to you, that what we are doing to our beautiful nature in which we live. And we came last here, just like, you know, guests, and we are just destroying everything. How much oxygen you consume in a lifetime, and how much is needed in the world for, you know, carrying out its all activities for 6 months. Any guess? Means it is something which is staggering. It is surprising, because we understand everything in money terms. It is $800 trillion. For 6 months oxygen, if we cut all the trees, all the marine flora, we will require $800 trillion to continue the activities which are going in the world at present. And you and me, all of us who are breathing, $40 trillion out of 800 would be required only for breathing. So nature, trees, every animal, everything around you is giving you this precious thing. And if you are a family of 4, you are consuming around 2,200 liters of oxygen every day. And have we thought ever that what am I giving back to nature? We are the only creatures who take everything from nature and we don't give it back at all. And whatever we manufacture is of no use. We cannot recycle it. Nature makes things which can be recycled. Man makes things which can't be recycled. Your phones, your laptop, your anything, nothing can be recycled. So we say that there are no free lunches in this world. I seriously object to that statement. Nature is the only thing which is giving you free lunches. We will not be able to count our money and our wealth if oxygen is not there for 2 minutes. So nature is giving you the most precious things, water and oxygen, free of cost. And as they say, if you get something free of cost, you have no regard and respect for it. That's what we are showing. And the pandemic has shown that what oxygen means to us. We all have to introspect that this is what we are doing and this is what is the cost. This is what is the price we will have to pay if we destroy nature like that. $800 trillion. Indian economy is $2.1 trillion. Chinese is, someone may correct me, $11 trillion. We are nowhere near, only to get oxygen. So we have to think. We have to mend our ways. We have to spread awareness. Then what can we do? Because this is a very serious matter. What can we do? How to engage people that nature can do so much for you. Nature is doing so much for you, for your families, all your wealth, all your positions, all your ego can go for a 6 if you don't get oxygen for 2.5 minutes. So these are the efforts from serious talk now, we will go for a photographic journey, that these are the efforts humans have made. It's not that all humans are, or as collectively we are not doing something, but what we are doing is not enough. So in our country, we have made 566 wildlife sanctuaries. Why I have taken wildlife sanctuaries? Because most of the time, whatever is happening around us, we are not aware about it. We are not conscious about it. We don't appreciate. So when you go to a wildlife sanctuary, you appreciate things. You understand the relationship between humans and nature, nature and human, the give and take. There are 56 national parks. And India is having around 17% population of the world and only 3% fresh water. So that's another problem with us. And then one of the most stunning wildlife sanctuaries which are there in the country are comparable to anybody. So let us go for that virtual safari. If you have any query, please, you are free to ask me. Well, I have just taken 4 of them and I have selected a few photographs. I will be commenting on those photographs and let us enjoy this journey. This is Corbett National Park. If there is paradise on earth, it is here. Those who have gone there, they understand. It is a full biosphere. It is a full ecosystem, which can teach you so much as a person, as a better human being, as a study tour. You take as enjoyment, fulfillment. And this is a landscape in one of the newly opened zones, because the one more zone has been added to Corbett so that more land can be saved from, real estate sharks and some other people. It's a wonderful effort. And look at this. Well, these photographs transport me right there. Once you travel on this road, you forget everything. I tell you, I have just come back from Sariska 3 hours back, and I was with a friend, and then I showed it to him that my pulse drops down to 60 from 78. My BP drops down. This is what practically happens to me. It may happen to you also. But we are not aware that this can happen. This happens because you are in conformity. You are with nature, and you start appreciating it. You start loving it. You start enjoying it. And that is what the visit to the parks, visit to nature, nature walks, forest bathing does to you. And this is road to heaven. This is also Corbett National Park. And we call wildlife, I call it precious life, and the habitats around us. We are wild. They are not wild. Because there are 4 things which humans do, which no other living being does. We eat when we are not hungry. We drink when we are not thirsty. We speak when we have nothing to say. And we are the only ones who go for earning money. No one goes. So it's a precious life. The scenes you see are absolutely mesmerizing. This is in Corbett. Elephant, one of the most intelligent being on earth. And as I told you last time also, it can sense things, see things, hear things from 5 different organs of its body. Trunk, its cranial, the eyes, ears, and feet. Then all the 5 images and sensations are processed in his brain, and then he comes to know where is the danger and what he can do. And this picture with a baby elephant, it just caught my attention, and I love this image. And a scene which is very common in Corbett, but absolutely mesmerizing. And then you can't, the apex level predator of the food chain, Panthera tigris. This is an image of Corbett when the golden light was falling on this tiger. And can you see these two shadows? One which is falling on the tiger. One is my shadow and one is Naman's shadow, my son. So we were that close. And I cannot explain it to you that that you remember those days. We remember that date. You remember everything about that date, and you rejoice seeing this picture or any other picture when you just flip your photographs. It's a marvelous creature, and how can people kill it and kill for meat and for nails and for eyes, for the lungs and for aphrodisiac purposes? God knows how cruel we have become. How can you kill this? And just look at him. This is also Corbett. This is precious life. They don't say anything to you unnecessarily. We are the ones who keep on killing others without any reason. When you see such things, you are transported somewhere else. This is Himalayan bluetail. Well, this is the fastest living being on earth, peregrine falcon. The maximum speed which has been noted is 381 kilometers per hour. Usually it is 310 kilometers per hour. It is a killing machine in the air. When it strikes on other birds, it is able to crack their skulls and they just get shocked. And it's a prey and predator relationship. That's how it happens. Such scenes, this is pied kingfisher looking for a fish in one of the most beautiful rivers of Corbett. I don't know what this red line has come from. I'll try to remove it. This is, just see this beauty. This is all sky blue color vertical flycatcher, and it catches flies from the air, and it is a sight to behold. It is something which you see once, you will like to see it all over again and again. The safaris, the jungles, the nature is just like a magnet. Once you get involved with it, well, it attracts you like a magnet. And this is a different zone of the Corbett called Durga Devi, and a different habitat, a different kind of a flora. It's absolutely beautiful. These are some of the scenes there, and this comes. We were going for the safari, or rather we had gone to Marchula, where one of our family members, Mani, has opened a resort, Mahashir fishing camps. If you go there, well. And we went from Mahashir fishing camps to Durga Devi. And Basu Bhaiya was also there, so he could not accompany us. And when we reached, people said that in this gate, you don't see tigers. And Dakshita pointed out that, okay, let us see for some footprints. Our guide and driver said, you don't see anything here. And all of a sudden we saw their footprint. And he says, there is a tiger. And we just started moving around 60, 70 kmph on those dirty, dirt-filled roads. And there we saw that tiger. And then he entered the forest and he came into the river. And now our Jeep is standing in the river and the tiger is standing in the river and he's looking at us. And it is a moment which none of us can, and we were the only ones at that time. This is a picture which is very dear to me. And as I said, that we were alone, and there is absolutely no fear. There is 100% confidence that it won't say anything to us. That is what you learn over a period of time. Unlike humans who will attack you just for nothing, either mentally or physically or emotionally or anything. We have been blessed with thinking, but we are using it for wrong reasons.
Devi, can I interrupt you for a minute, please?
Yes.
Your photos are lovely, but please try and see that the red lines are removed because we don't want it spoiled in the recording.
Okay, I
Because, you
I
know,
don't know from where it has come.
it'll come in all the recording. So please try to remove that.
Okay, okay. Can someone do it, because I have not touched it and I don't know from where they have appeared. Eraser. Okay.
Yes, it's working. And also the red arrow. Yeah,
Very good. Very good.
perfect.
And the tigress moved ahead of us. And it so happened that all of a sudden she disappeared in the jungle. And we said, where has it gone? And we were the only ones. And after 5-7 minutes, it appeared behind, it just raised her head and saw us. It is just 5 meters away from our gypsy. And this is a sight which is just, I dream of it. Because in nature, nothing gets repeated. It will never get repeated ever. So whatever you are seeing, it's a story. Every picture has a story. So that's how the animals, all animals, however small they are very intelligent, except that they are not able to speak our language and convey that what they want. It's not free. And as I told you, that one of our family members, money is there. He has made a wonderful resort. It is a great treat, and all of you, must go there. I've not taken his permission to put his picture here, but I am sure that he won't mind it. And Dakshita is just sitting there and having breakfast in Mahashir, one of the cottages of Mahashir fishing camps. One of the most beautiful places I have visited in Corbett. The more you see, the more you fall in love with this. These are the grasslands of Corbett. In nature, grasslands, rivers, mountains, they are all integral part of the entire ecosystem, and they have their role to play. Everything is interrelated in nature. What is happening in the grass, then what is happening in the air, what is happening in the mountains, because there is a complete food chain, complete food web. And everything which we see, which we call it as a jungle, is not a jungle. It is all home. It is all 4 BHK, 5 BHK for various animals and for various insects, for various birds. Just a minute, I'm just removing these red dots. And when you have close encounters with, he's 2.5 years old. The name of this guy, because he has a P mark on his face, so people used to call him Pandit. And can you believe that he was killed by poachers? Only 3 years old. One tiger has an economic value of 100 crore. This is the business it directly generates, that much of business. And one tiger is valued at 10 lakhs. And that's why people are killing this most precious and wonderful living being. And there is not only tigers, there is so much to see in Corbett or any other reserves, sanctuaries, national parks around us. This is chestnut-headed bee-eater. It catches the bee in the air, and it is a migrant which comes here for 3 months. When you see this Eastman color photograph, it is very hard to believe that something of that nature, something of that beauty exists. But when you see it, that's why I said that these are like magnets. It attracts you, these pictures become integral part of your dreams. Means they are of mine, no doubt about that. This is blue-tailed bee-eater. That was chestnut-headed bee-eater. There are 5 types of bee-eaters, and they have a different habitat. And the evolution has taken place in such a manner that they are 5 different species now. What a beautiful bird this is. And then you see, there's something precious behind the trees, behind the woods. This picture is very dear to me when this tusker was there and was trying to cross that road. And one beautiful evening, which is the integral part of Corbett National Park, Dhikala zone, where there is a reservoir, a river, a mountain, a grassland. And when you see a tusker there, this is absolutely mesmerizing. And these are special moments. When the king winks at you, the guy is winking at me. The one eye is open, one eye is shut. And I can tell you that these are such moments which one cherishes for life. And it doesn't happen that only kings winks at you. Sometimes queen also winks at you. This is the queen who is winking at me. And I am so enamored by these pictures. And this is a tiger train. Rare are the occasions when you see such a sight. It doesn't get repeated. In our life, everything gets repeated, but these are the moments which don't get repeated at all. And that's why, as Tanvi said, that once we capture these moments, you can relive those moments. You can enjoy them and share with people. And just, it's a sheer joy which, money can't give you. That's what I mean to say. And as nature, invokes so many thoughts in you. Corbett means this particular picture tells me about life. There are twists, there are turns, there is total uncertainty what is there after every twist and turn, but it is beautiful. That's what this picture always reminds me. Then we come to Sariska Tiger Reserve. This is a tiger reserve where in 2004, one Mr. Sansar Chand killed 28 tigers. And within 3 years, he also died of cancer. So Sariska Tiger Reserve is a unique experiment in the world where tigers were transferred from Ranthambore, and they have started breeding in Sariska. And for your information, Sariska has the highest population of peacocks. And this is one such moment. And the colors of Sariska are very unique. These are the pictures of the 2 tigers who were mating in those days, and we were lucky to capture them. People go and say that we don't see tigers in Sariska. Well, there's so much to see in every wildlife sanctuary more than tigers. But if you have tiger, well, it's icing on the cake. As I said, we are 7.5 billion. In India, we are 150 crore, and they are only 2,903,000. So every sighting is precious. Every sighting is worth seeing it. And this is one welcome to Sariska. Nothing could have been more appropriate that the highest population of peacocks is in Sariska, and he was welcoming us. And the scenes you see, and so that's why I've just put it, hum intezar karenge tera qayamat tak. Khuda kare ke kayamat aur tu aaye. Means I look at him and then this song starts playing in my background. So it was a wonderful sight. Just look at him. And these are some of the beautiful mornings of Sariska. They are so beautiful. You can feel the oxygen to your last alveoli, and the joy is unlimited. And when you get that mesmerizing stare, nothing can beat it. Nothing at all. Well, every picture tells a story. And this is I think it's a labyrinth of relationship. You like someone likes someone else, and someone else is trying to impress you. This is what is happening in this picture. There are two male peacocks, and there is a male peacock and a female peacock walking. So it's an entire story. Story which can't be put in 1,000 words. And cooperation helps in everyday life. And just look at this guy who is a Billu or Pappu of their family. He's looking at my camera, and all of them are busy in their business. These are such hilarious sights and such scenes which you come across. For us, any puddling will be okay, it's a water, but it is so precious water for the king. And I love this image. When she was drinking after the rain, and this was in April, because Aprils are it becomes very hot there. And it's not about tigers. This is one of the most beautiful creatures, spotted deer. And imagine these creatures, they live in fear all their lives. They are always under fear that somebody will pounce upon them. So we are lucky to see all of them and enjoy the play of nature. And as I said, tiger chasing is some hard work. This is there is dust, dirt, dhakke, mukke, everything, but it's worth it. I love it. And these are different, poses, different encounters with that majestic animal. What a creation, what a gene pool. This is sambar deer. This is the most favorite food of the tiger. It lives, as I said, it lives under perpetual fear, and it can rotate its ear 240 degrees, and it can hear every sound. And if it produces a sound, if he speaks, that means there is a tiger or the leopard around, 100%. So the nature tells you they have a communication. They also have 5G network, 4G network. They communicate with each other. We don't understand that language, but the communication is going on. And there are various scenes. The childhood masti is also there. When the monkeys are jumping in and around here and there, it's a hilarious sight. There are not only tigers and mammals, there are butterflies. This is a mud puddling in Sariska of common grass yellow. The butterflies have only 3 or 4 weeks to live. They live only for 3 to 4 weeks. And this is called mud puddling. Mud puddling means that they are taking moisture, their nutrients and minerals from a moist soil so that it can be used during breeding, mating, and passed on to the female so that she can produce better eggs and their next generation can survive. And all the butterflies gather at one place where the mineral content is more. And it is a sight which can't be explained in the words. Then there are beautiful sunsets and sunrises. And it is something which is very, very breathtaking. And it's not that you are, some special moments do come when you visit. This is Rufus tree pie and jungle babbler looking at Dakshita, the bird's woman. You know, it's absolutely a wonderful sight, and it was a wonderful moment for us. Now we come to Kahana. You go anywhere, this tranquility which you experience, it can enter your heart. You can feel it. And as I said, that it acts like a magnet. You keep on dreaming about it. You keep on going there. And it even if it is repetitive, you don't get bored out of your wits for as we do in most of the things, most of the time. When it was raining, the 4 peacocks decided to just climb onto a sal tree. And when you go and you are searching and you see the king is lying well, and it's absolutely a marvelous sight. The name of this tiger is Chota Munna. His father was Munna. And would you believe, can you see there is cat written on his forehead? C-A-T. And it was very pronounced in his father. C-A-T, cat. So this is how wildlifers, you know, keep on seeing these things and keep on repeatedly going there and exploring that what all is happening. And it is something which is so precious. And means I feel very sad to tell you that Chota Munna has also disappeared and most probably has been poached. So these are the memories which I have captured forever. Then this is a scops owl. You can't make out. There are 40 varieties of owls in India. And this is in Kana. And it is absolutely wonderful bird. This is Kana landscape. All landscapes, all the wildlife sanctuaries and national parks have different landscapes. And when he decides to do various types of things, he took out his tongue, looked at us, and one is lucky enough to capture it on the camera and relive those moments and share with you. And this is swamp deer. There are 5 types of deer in this in our country. There is a swamp deer, which is also called Barasinga. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 each, 6 ways. So this is being bred in Kana, swamp deer, spotted deer, hog deer, barking deer, and sambar deer. This was nearly extinct and it has been reintroduced with human efforts. So humans are trying to do something which is good, but we need a collective effort. And this guy is sleeping. You go to Ranthambore, you also get a scare. The stare which is so mesmerizing. And then you go to Uttar Pradesh, Dudhwa National Park. This is from a fairy land. This is January 2018, 26th January. And these are the colors which were, you know, one was seeing. This is absolutely magic. Look at this. It's about life from unknown to unknown. This is Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. If you have not gone there, kindly go there. It's just out of this world. And all of a sudden, from the mist, somebody appears. The Tarai magic. This tiger is the strongest tiger of India. It is also called rhino killer. He has killed a rhinoceros which have been introduced from Assam to Dudhwa Tiger Reserve. He is so strong and it is very rare to see him, and in our first visit itself we could see him. And then there are infrastructure going within Dudhwa National Tiger. Well, This is my the professional infrastructure which gives me bread and butter, but I wish I wish that it should vanish from here. And I always say the uncertain future awaits him. He is going into something uncertain. Only God knows what will happen to his existence. We are lucky to see it. And this is the tiger. Can you see? They are differently built because there is no inbreeding there. Because there is Katarnia Ghat, there is Dudhwa, there is Pilibhit, there is Shukla Phata in Nepal. So they are unlike other unlike other tiger reserves where the inbreeding is taking place. So their build is different. They are differently built. They are very powerful. And I'll just try to tell you a story here within 2-3 minutes, that what we don't appreciate, that what is going on. I have captured it on my camera. This is a gray hornbill which makes and this tree is a silk cotton tree. There is a natural hole in the silk cotton tree, which is the nest, or you can say 3 BHK, 4 BHK home for various birds. And one of them is gray hornbill. So this is female gray hornbill inspecting her house before shifting there. So she is coming out of it in pieces by inspecting. After that, it will breed, the eggs will be laid, and the male gray hornbill will create a door on this hole with mud and seal it. And a small slit will be there, and he will be feeding the female gray hornbill, who will be raising their chicks. So this is something which is so majestic, so surprising, such a magnificent phenomena. Why? Because now she's sealed inside, and he will be bringing food for her, and at least 40 times a day. This is her beak, and this is a door which has been made by a male hornbill. And there is no, if the male hornbill, leaves her, deserts her, well, the female hornbill will die inside. So there is no pact between them. It is a natural thing with them that they care for each other. This is what they are doing. They are also making home. They also have a right to live. They also have full life. It's only that they are not able to communicate with us in a language which we understand. So we have to go at their level to understand. And he's bringing food for her. Leaves, water, food, nuts, fruits. And I will just play this video if possible. Yes. I'm not able to play this video. Anyhow. Then why should you go for a nature tour or a forest bathing? Because you become a better person. You become a patient person. You become a considerate person. You become a better professional. You become a better father, a better mother, a better citizen, a better daughter, a better son, a better manager of your life, a better human being, a satisfied being, contented being. And someone has put such a beautiful slogan here: shoot nothing but picture, leave nothing but footprints. So it's a time for going for the safari. And this is how they come and start playing with your Jeep. So let's go for the safari. And something to ponder. Only when the last tree has died and the last river has been poisoned and the last fish caught will we realize we cannot eat money. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Any questions? You are most welcome.
Clap for you, Devi.
Super,
It's so
thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely
beautiful.
superb. Superb, absolutely. It was most mesmeric and educative.
Thank you.
Very,
Really.
very good. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Tanvi, you may not be
Excellent.
here, but
Excellent. Absolutely outstanding.
I wish we could lead a life like yours.
Most welcome.
Envy you.
Devi, how long did the male hornbill need to build that door?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
3 months.
And then they break the wall and she comes out.
then he breaks the door, and then she comes out with the chicks.
My God.
Wow.
So the wall is for protection, is it?
Yes, because the other the snake should not enter. The other they should not enter. So there is a video that he is feeding her. That video I could not play, although it was, I don't know how to play that video. So I can share it with you. So these are things which are happening around us. It's only that we are too involved and engrossed in all of us, in all our activities, that we forget everything. If they were 48 hours, we'll be thinking about us only. You know, so we are a race which is blessed, which has wisdom. Uske paas vivek hai, but we use it for all wrong reasons.
So true. So true.
Spectacular, Devi. Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Tanvi, very impressed with your with what you've done. And keep going. You have a long, exciting way to go.
And what beautiful photographs.
I know.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Devi, just one question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
The love for tiger and all, I mean, it's well taken then. But what happens when you are a lover of a tiger and you are confronting a tiger who's wanting to pounce on you? Where does that love go?
As I said,
How do you know?
that tiger is not a human. He will not pounce on me without a reason. Only human beings pounce on you without a reason. The tiger will never ever pounce on you only if you are a danger to its cubs. That's only the reason. That's only the condition that it will pounce on you. It doesn't eat when his stomach is full. It's not like us that, you know, we keep on munching and doing, aaj ye kar lete hain, wo kar lete hain. You know, but I have got my birthday and I have slaughtered 5 fellows. उनके भी रिश्तेदार हैं, उनके भी हैं. Have you ever seen a tiger कि आज मेरा birthday है, let us kill some humans? So it never happens like that. But we do it. Today is happy birthday and today is happy new year and this is this and that. So
But
you know,
you have matters going around also now on the prowl.
Devi, I have a question. I have been to Jim Corbett twice.
Maybe I had a question. The relationship of animals with each other, different species of animals. Because, you know, whatever we are taught is about how there is this natural hierarchy, etc. Did you ever observe how animals behave with each other, different species?
Yeah, every time. Every time. Do you know the name of Rufous tree pie? There is a bird called Rufous tree pie.
Okay.
Which is available, and it is the colors of Rufous tree pie are orange and black and white, and it is also called dentist of the tiger. Dentist of the tiger. When tiger eats meat and the piece of the meat gets stuck in the teeth, it opens his mouth and the Rufous tree pie goes and takes out that piece of meat, and it is beneficial for the tiger as well as for the Rufous tree pie. Then there are drongos. The drongo is called jungle kotwal because he is able to give so much to other birds that if there is a danger, he is able to shoo other people away. So all the birds make nest where drongo makes nest. That is why it's called jungle kotwal.
Okay.
So everything is interrelated. They have such a beautiful communication with them, within themselves and with each other.
Great.
The beauty treatment is done by birds in the forest. You know, they sit on the backs of all all the animals and pick out all the fleas. And
Yeah, Bobby, yeah, it's such a symbiotic relationship. You know, they are sitting on the back and taking out ticks, and both of them are happy.
Yes.
Devi Masaji.
Yeah.
Hi, Devi Masaji. This is Vaishali. Really enjoyed yours and Tanvi's presentation. Obviously,
Thank
so
you.
much passion comes out, and that's really, so interesting to see. Of course, fear. Vishu Mama asked whether there is fear, and there have been instances, but you're right. If you don't provoke animals, they're not going to respond or react. That's good. But I noticed you also talked about like the female, bird was like in the house feeding the kids in the tree. And I mean, do you see this a lot, like this distribution of roles, the way we see them? Do you see, like, how do you know, is it easy to spot? And my other question is, like people like us, when we spot these creatures, like I've spotted this bird in a garden in my house often. And I would sit and watch them. It's very cute. And they were doing exactly what you were saying. There's somebody sticking their neck out and little chicks sticking their necks out, etc. I don't know the name of this, but is it possible like to take an app picture and an app and figure out what
Yes.
new creatures are? So you should share that with us.
Yes,
and
yes.
then maybe some light on the sort of division of work. Have you seen some amount of division based on, their sex, etc.? It'd be interesting to know. How it works. Yeah.
This is happening every time, except humans. The males are more beautiful in the animal kingdom. If you see a peacock, so that's a distinguishing factor when you go to the wild, that all males are most beautiful, except in humans. Means males are more beautiful, females are more beautiful, which I consider. Many males have objection to that, but this is what I say. That yes, it is. You can observe. It's only that you require patience. You require a little bit of curious nature, and your curiosity should be better of you. That's all. Nothing else. And there is a app which is there these days. You should all download Google Lens. Just download on your phone and it can tell you everything. It's a wonderful, wonderful work done by Google, the great software engineers.
Also, Masaji, what's a good time? You said April, they come
that's
for
what I
water,
was, yeah.
and then in January, you showed
The
us
best time to observe, for me, all 12 months. But the best time is October to March.
So when,
That's exactly what I'm
for visiting, because then there are a lot of birds, a lot of butterflies. After rains, there is a lot of vegetation, so food is in abundance, and there's a lot of activity happens after that.
But people say for tigers, etc., you have to go in the summer because they come to drink water. Is that right or not right?
No, for seeing a tiger is something which is different. But if you want to see that how does he do it? The best months are October to March.
But Devi,
yeah,
have you been to Gir?
No, I want to come there. I have not been to Gir.
I don't know why the lion has been relegated to the background. The lion used to be the traditional king,
Yeah. No, it's not in the background. I cannot say, is it being recorded or not? I don't know. If it is being recorded, then there are reasons, because we should have translocated lions somewhere else also. You are absolutely correct, because both tiger and lions are different. Lion is a family guy. Tiger is a loner. And it is majestic. It is more friendly to humans.
Because majesty, royalty, and strength and might and courage, you associate with a lion more than a tiger,
Actually, the Gir lion issue is a very, very large issue.
Yes.
And actually we found an ideal habitat to translocate lions also. And
yes.
they would have thrived, and there's so much inbreeding and so much overpopulation in Gir. But
no, but universally, Madhur, what I feel is the kind of esteem that a lion commands through stories, folklore, and even in real terms. No other animal in the world, symbolizes strength and might and courage as much as a lion, and royalty and majesty.
You're absolutely right, Vishu, but it's a political issue, so that's why and environment is a state issue. It's not a federal issue. So that's one of the reasons why.
And I'm not saying that because I'm sitting in Gujarat, but
no, but Madhur, what do you mean by it's a political issue? The Gir forest are not welcome in this. I mean, the lions.
Yeah, they are not allowing tiger lions to be transported somewhere else.
Oh,
but I'm not talking about India alone. I'm talking about the entire world.
Yeah, entire world. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking of India.
Yeah.
No, but if you look at Africa, the lion is the primary animal in Africa.
The big five.
But if you look at our history also, Ranu, even Indian history, it is the lion actually which has ruled the roost.
Arey bhai, aap kya karoge when it becomes a political issue?
Actually, we
should scouting the beauty of a tiger.
कौन सी चिड़िया है?
ये scarlet minuet.
Scarlet
minuet, wonderful.
तो इस किस्म की चिड़िया यहाँ बहुत दिखती है.
It is one of my favorites, scarlet minuet.
Ajay, you have to protect everyone from the leopards of Kumaon.
And this is yet another one. I don't know the name. You know.
This is scarlet minuet front portion.
अच्छा.
That is the frontal view.
नहीं इसका तो सर नीला है यार और इसका रेड कलर.
नहीं scarlet minuet है.
अच्छा चलो ठीक है.
Devi, please answer my questions. I have been to Gir forest twice, but I have been taken on a tour and I never found anything fascinating being shown. I don't know why.
You know, I have seen lions in Masai Mara and I've seen lions in Gir, and you should see them roaming free. I mean, especially a male lion with his entire mane, etc. He's a terror, absolutely.
Yeah.
Madhu, क्या बोल रही थी तू?
Devi, with your permission, I'd like to add a little bit to your story about the arrogance of humans on this planet. Just one little bit. Do you know, the family, that the largest species in terms of weight, mass, body mass, is not the human?
Yeah, it's not the human.
It is the Antarctic krill that weighs only 1 gram or 1.5 grams. If you add up all the Antarctic krills in the world, they are equal to 750 million tons.
Yes.
And they weigh only 1 gram or 1.5 grams. And the second species is not the human being, it is ants.
Yes.
The third species is human being at 240 million tons.
Exactly.
We are 1/3 of the Antarctic krill, so we think this goddamn planet belongs to us and we are making it up. It is not our planet.
Yes.
This is reality. It's not our planet.
Yes.
Exactly. For the interjection.
I want to add a few things, couple of things. To keep to the theme of the discussion, we have had a lot of movement in India where we have moved towards conservation in a very big way. As Devi mentioned in the beginning, the younger generation is very lucky that they are exposed to these thoughts in a at a very early stage in their lives. But one thing we have to understand, that all species coexist. If there is a deer in the jungle and the deer is being eaten by the big cat or any other animal, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a part of the ecosystem survival. What we have done as a part of our conservation effort is that we have allowed monkeys, dogs, and similarly pigeons, by feeding them indiscriminately to prosper. So one of the biggest traction or one of the biggest challenges that is facing nature is the disproportionate growth of one species over another. And that is going to be something which we will have to, like if we take an Uttarakhand, with the pigs have overrun the entire agricultural community there. I'm sure Ajay Bhaiya is aware of that. But this is the challenge which we have to see. The pigeons wiping out the buraya, the dogs and the monkeys being fed by us so that they run over colonies and habitations and uncontrollable manner and things like that. So that is the thought which will have to be the thought of the future and the now as to how to control indiscriminate and lopsided growth of one species.
Absolutely.
I have a question for Tanvi. Tanvi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hi. So tell me, is your generation also fascinated? What do you see more by? I see your generation, they take a lot of pictures of people and, infrastructure, etc. Abstract, is there also interest in nature, etc.? Do you see that as well? Or do you see just more of, creative, innovative people, faces and all of that? Because both are fascinating. Just curious what your generation is.
Thanks for the question. I think we all have a kind of equal kind of interest in everything, but I think now definitely we're interested in people, especially taking photos of friends for, social media on Instagram and everything. Actually, something interesting, film photos are actually making a comeback in our generation. Like we go out to buy old Kodak film cameras and we get them developed, and it's not like a pain for us. We actually like the process of waiting and getting it to develop. It creates a cool effect that people like now. So I guess it's making a comeback in our generation. Yeah.
Thank you. Great.
Wow.
It's so much to learn from your generation. It's like reverse mentorship for us. Like how you people teach us so many things. Fantastic.
I think, Devi, there's a lot of work which a lot of the development sector is doing and to conserve wildlife. And I think the takeaway from this session is that it may be a drop in the ocean, but if all of us can be responsible tourists, that I think would be a great.
Definitely, Bobby, definitely. Every day you can contribute.
By the way, family, I have to say that when I wanted to learn how to take pictures, I learned it from Devi. And that was 2009. I was going to the Antarctic and I just asked him, how the hell does one use this? And in 2009, he gave me a lesson, which I am eternally grateful for because I've taken wonderful photographs after that. Thank you, Devi.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Devi Mosa, one more question. Devi Mosa, aapse ek aur Hi, Subir.
Hi, Subir.
Hello, Subir.
Hi, Vishnu Chacha. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Subir. How are you?
Hi.
All good, all good. Sorry. This wasn't to take away from the meeting. I've been hiding and watching, but here's back to more.
No. Stay on, Subir. It's so good to see you. Devi Mosa, one question. You talked about money and, obviously money can't give you the joy. And, obviously there's absolutely no question. It's so fascinating to see these pictures. But I can't imagine to take these fantastic pictures. It is quite expensive to buy these gadgets and to be able to travel to these places. I'm sure but it's not an easy hobby or an affordable hobby, perhaps. I don't know.
No, not at all. The amount of tea you are drinking and coffee you are drinking, and this thing, it is disappearing. It is a non-renewable resource, and once you buy a camera, it is for your life. So because you don't have to buy the film roll, it's only 2 cards which can, give you the pictures after pictures after pictures, and it's absolutely it is one of the most wise investments one can ever have.
Coming from a passionate person, it's not a
yeah,
cost,
3
it's
to,
an investment.
you know, the joy you get by putting 4 lakhs in the bank and the joy you get by clicking those 4 lakhs in nature, well, the joy which you get after clicking the picture, you know, outweighs put it in the bank.
But then in a year, your gadget is becoming outdated. What do you do about that? Then you have to invest 10 lakhs to get the right.
I clicked my best picture with a Isoli camera, Isoli 2, which was 42 years ago, and it is my best sunset picture till now, and the camera was for 300 rupees. It is the man behind the machine.
Or the woman.
It's not that you have a good pressure cooker that you will cook a good food. It's not like that.
Okay. Well said. Okay, Ranu Chacha, I think I'm going to give you the last word.
Okay.
I think Bebu was asking a question, Chand Bhaiya.
Wish you a line phobia is over.
Thank you for being here, family. This was a great session. We had the youngest person ever as a speaker, Tanvi. You were absolutely great, and wish you all the luck in future. You're absolutely spectacular. A great eye for the frame, I have to say. And Devi, what can I say about you? Words are not enough because I have known you and all your photographs, which you generously exchange with me almost every 3-4 days. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. So now let's move on. As I normally do, I announce the next few sessions, but this time I'm announcing only 2 because the third one is a little iffy at the moment. But 2 is a fortnight from now. You will hear a session by the Brijbeer Sarandas family. And this will be led by Trisha Das, my daughter. And then we have a break for the Diwali period, which is early in November. I think there will be a lot of activity in family, so we've left that out. And on Gogi is here. Gogi will be giving a leading a session on the Vimla my Buaji's family, and that will be at the end of November. And Vaishali, I'm waiting for a date from you as well. And Gaurav, if you're here, I'm waiting for a date from you as well. So these are the 2 things that will happen, which are both Parivar tales, 2 weeks from now and 6 weeks from now. And then we'll decide what happens after that. Chand, is that okay?
Perfect. Perfect.
I think Bebu wanted to ask something.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Bebu.
No, next time. I was just going to ask Devi Mosaji 2 things. One, the industry I come from, one average photo shoot takes 9 hours. How long does it take for you to take that one shot of the tiger? That's one question. And the second was, do you ever sense a feeling of an animal feeling camera fatigue? Do they get put off by human beings clicking them and around them?
Yeah.
Very good question.
Yes. This, thank you. And very relevant and very good question. Well, in my lifetime, yesterday I had 56th sighting of the tiger. So my score is 56. And I don't mind waiting at all. It is rather the most enjoyable thing for me. Means it as I told you that it makes you a better human being. It makes you a patient person. It gives you so much because there is so much to observe, and there is so much to see, that how to track it, where it goes, how it behaves, when it comes. So there are so many things, and what are the various sounds of the jungle. And जैसे गुलजार साहब ने लिखा है एक बारी के वादी में गूंजती हुई खामोशियां सुने. When you listen to the silence, that is the best part of the wildlife experience. As Rumi has said, that silence is the language of God. Rest all is poor translation. So So, and the second thing, that clicking sometimes can irritate, especially elephants, if the baby elephants are with them. Sometimes that they find it, disturbing that we are going to, because the clicking sound is synonymous with the shooting sound. So most of the time we put the camera on a silent mode or less noise mode. So while clicking the elephant, yes, it happens, but because elephants are there, which are, and they can charge you, they are very intelligent. And so one doesn't have to go very near to them. So we have to give them space because we are going in their habitat. We are going in their homes. So the first right of everything is theirs. And we don't artificially create anything which is for clicking a photograph. No, whatever is coming, it's coming. That's all. There is no put on kind of a thing.
Asalji, just one thing, Ranu Mama, one last question. Like the Jeep is an artificial thing going in their habitat. How come they don't attack Jeeps? Like, have they just got used to it, or is there some other reason? Like when you go and see.
I'll take that, Vaishali. The thing is that the routes are predefined, and these are very limited routes. The sound isn't going. The routes are well defined. Very few paths are open for the Jeeps. And there is a standard protocol which is there as far as tourism within the jungles is concerned. You're not allowed to get down. You're allowed a limited number of people. Technically, you should follow a dress protocol, a smell protocol. Don't carry plastic with you. Things like that. Now, what happens is if you follow silence in the jungle, there will be no disturbance. It will not attack you. It will not get disturbed. But if you break that protocol, they quietly move away into the thick of the jungle because the bulk of the area is not open to the tourists. In fact, it's not open at all. You have Corbett, Sariska, places where we go to are huge, but barely 10% is open for the public. So which means that if you disturb them, they disengage with you and they run away inside the dark. It happened to us yesterday. We were on the road and we bumped into a tiger, literally. She looked at us and walked down and we followed it. But unfortunately, people came from the other side. It got disturbed and it just went inside the jungle and we never saw it again. So that's how it works. The jungle actually protects the animals.
Actually, Dakshita, if the rules, for example, in the game parks in Kenya, in Tanzania, they're all so strict as far as photography and as far as the other responsible tourism rules are concerned. But it's just, and we have to, for including silence, and they're so particular.